Have you ever lost a loved one, yet still feel connected? Do you believe there is life after this life? Welcome to Still Connected. Today we're going to have a treat, a very special show, because I have no clue what's going to happen. And it's very unusual for me to have a show as a host and not to know what's going to happen. So just come on with me. Let's have this adventure together. I have two guests with me today. One is David Young, who came as guest on our show before. Welcome again, David.
Thank you so much.
David is known as the Flute Man, and he has 55 CDs. He was nominated twice for Grammy Awards. He sold over 1 million CDs, and he's a great friend of mine. And our second guest is Regina Sall.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, Regina.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, Regina is a psychic medium who is going to do some mystery and fascinating work with David. Okay, now David and Regina, please, take over.
Okay, so to start this off, I have been experiencing channeling a certain spirit, a person who was alive here, passed away about 12 years ago, but he had a giant influence while he was here. He was a musician. He started out as a guitar player, like me, a rock and roll guitar player, but he got into spirituality in the middle of his life, and he really dedicated the rest of his life towards advancing himself spiritually and having spiritual experience and doing as much good as he could do on this planet while he was here. And I just want to tell the audience that I've never met you before today.
That is true.
And you know nothing of my story.
I don't.
And so this is as real as it gets.
She's not the only one who doesn't know what's going to happen.
Right. It's like the engineers who record my music. They never know what's going to happen either. So about 3.5 years ago, these incredible, beyond coincidences, synchronicities started happening in my life, where George Harrison, things related to George Harrison started happening to me. And it was amazing, And after about 3 months of this, I started dating this woman who, on my third date with her, she asked me what the highlight of my career was. I said it was when Paul McCartney started a standing ovation for me. And she asked me if I knew that George Harrison used to babysit her when she was a kid. So I already liked her. She didn't have to tell me that. You know what I mean? And so the energy that I had been feeling coming through from George then took a step up. And I started having more and more experiences with George. And my book, which is called Channeling Harrison, Book 1, as of 2 years ago, the book was 15,000 words. And we just finished the book, and it's 50,000 words. And it's book 1 because I'm 5,000 words into book 2. And all of these experiences are true things that have happened to me that are beyond anything Steven Spielberg could ever dream up in his wildest imagination. And so I've been documenting these for the last 3.5 years. So the reason why I brought you here today is because you're a channeler. You connect with spirits on the other side who've already passed away, and to see what kind of messages that you can open yourself up from George to pass along to me.
Okay.
Okay. Are you
Sounds
ready?
like I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. So I'm just curious, did you know who George Harrison was?
Before today that I was going to be asked to see if I could connect with George, I did not know that I was coming in to do that. Is that's what you mean?
And also when he mentioned the name, now do you know who
Yes.
He was? Okay.
And that's actually more information than I usually don't get any information. I usually don't ask any
Okay.
questions of
Well,
the person I'm sitting.
I thought we would make this a little easier because normally when somebody does channeling, it's not in front of a camera.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Usually
And-
it's not. For me, this is the first.
Right, and so I have done this with 3 other mediums, okay, and when I did that, it was not in front of a camera. And so I figured that it would just be a little bit less pressure, you know what I mean,
Oh, I see.
to tell you who it was, because one of the channelers, I didn't tell him it was George, and he knew right off the bat without me mentioning his name, you know. So if you want, I'll play the flute for like 30 seconds, and you can tune in and ask George what he'd like to talk about today. How does that
Okay.
sound? Okay. Okay, so have you got anything?
I do.
Okay, let's hear
Okay.
it.
Well, as we were sitting, I mean, I know you talked, we're talking about guitar, but what I'm also picturing is other musical instruments, and one of the other things that I was picturing was the saxophone and also drums, but more like not like a big drum set, but drums,
Like a small drum?
like a small drum, or more like what I don't know instruments, so I would say like a hand drum, like hand drums, but the type there's more than one. So
Now, are the drums metal or are they wood?
they're wood.
Okay.
They're wood, and they're the type of drum that you would either sit on your lap or sit down on the floor and beat.
Okay.
And there'd be I'm feeling like a specific a specific beat. I feel like this person, this energy that I'm feeling, which is male. He is male. Feels a very strong connection to this beat. And when you said, "What is the message today?" The message was presence. The message is I feel a very strong connection to being present. I feel a very strong connection of living in the presence, and the message is presence, 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 and not the type of presents you get for Christmas. You understand what I mean by presents? Right.
Yes, I do. Why don't you tune in and see what he'd like to say?
What I'm feeling, and I talked to you before the show about I will hear things, I will see things, and I feel things. And what I'm feeling is that I'm feeling this energy. I'm feeling the personality. And the personality feels strong but amazingly calm. Like the personality, I feel like when he was with people, he was their strength. He was a pillar. And I'm feeling his strength, and I'm feeling that calmness, and I'm feeling like the message that he wants to give to people is one to wake up. Like his message is wake up, people, and living in presence and being in the presence and to stop. I mean, I feel his message has a certain urgency about transformation. That this was a pivotal point in his life, like that he went from being a very superficial person to just like when he talks about superficial person and the shift, it was I feel the calmness, I feel the presence, and he would like to work to bring that on the earth through people like you or me.
And how does it relate to my music?
What I'm hearing, it has everything to do with your music. I feel him smile when you talk about your music. I feel This is part of being a medium. Is if I could only explain, to find the words to explain what I feel. It has everything. When he's talking about your music, he's getting excited. He's getting excited about your music. He's saying people need to be brought around. People.
What do you mean brought around?
He's saying to being spiritual, each in their own way. You know, that spirituality is not a. It's not secular. He's not secular. It's not secular. It's part of. It can be part of everyone's life. It doesn't matter. He's talking now. I'm not feeling this. I'm hearing this. He's saying it doesn't matter whether you're a trash man or a musician or a secretary or a TV host, and he bows to you. Spirituality is life. And your music, you know, your music is a way to make a connection. It's, you know, people need to slow down, he said, in a sense, and your music is beautiful, and your music, like when he talks about your music, I feel the
Relaxing?
it's that doesn't do it justice, but I'll let you give me that word. Relaxing, a calmness. I mean, he's giving me the word calmness.
Okay. Last week I was in New York, and that there was a.
He's laughing. Go ahead.
There was a man on the street, and I walked up to this man on the street. He was like a homeless guy. Okay. And I talked to him, and I gave him some love through my eyes. And then I asked him how much money did he want. How much money did I give him?
What I'm picturing is a wallet. All right, I'm not hearing any type of dollar amount, but what I'm picturing is in a wallet, and when it opens, the wallet is empty.
Yeah, the man opened up his wallet and it was empty.
Right.
And so I asked him, I had money in my pocket. I asked him how much money did he want? And he said a number. Can you ask George what the number was?
Right, George. What he is saying is that you gave him all the money in your pocket.
I pulled out $25. So I gave him $25. Sorry, that was a hard question. I was just saying, we'll see how strong your connection gets by the end of the show.
Okay.
You know? Ask him, tell him that I had a problem with my guitar last month. Ask him if he can tell you what the problem was with my guitar.
What I'm hearing is it got wet.
Yeah, it had to do with humidity in my apartment. And the humidity in my apartment was making my G string go out of tune. So, why don't you tune in again? I'm going to play the flute again.
Okay.
And tune in and see what kind of message you get, okay?
Okay.
And you can close your eyes if you want, you know. But.
Okay, I'm going to close my eyes. He's talking about he's saying, not to paraphrase.
He wants you to say exactly what he's saying?
Yes. And he said transformation and presence. He's saying that he needs this forum to communicate that.
What do you mean this for?
You.
What do you mean?
He's saying, well, he's dead. You know, he said that in a accepting, in a funny, like he's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm dead. So I need someone to speak. I need someone to continue the message. I need someone to move forward with it. Because the earth is, he said the earth is running out of time.
He told me this.
And the earth is running out of time. And when he said that, I feel like for him, like if he had eyes, I feel like they want to cry, they want to tear, but they're not tearing. You know, and I'll give that feeling to you. But he needs people to work with. He's trying to work with you. He needs to get this message out there. He needs to accelerate. He's saying he needs to accelerate the work. And he said he chose you.
Well, we look a little bit alike, right?
Do you?
Well, I'm picturing someone with shorter hair.
Well, his hair is shorter now.
Yeah.
But when he was alive, he had longer hair.
Oh, really?
Okay, because I'm not picturing. Yeah, what I'm picturing is,
Yeah.
is shorter hair.
Yeah, his hair is shorter now.
Right, and he's actually holding a saxophone.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny because I hate the saxophone. It's my least favorite instrument of all the instruments. He likes to joke around, you know.
Yeah. I mean, now he's like, I'm picturing him here. He's slender and he's got the short hair, but he's what I would call doing the saxophone thing, and he's laughing and having fun with that. But you know, he's talking right now, so he's saying he needs you. He needs you.
How long has he had this connection with me? Was it before this life?
What I'm picturing when you ask that question, I'm picturing it as like I also see. So sometimes when I look off to a distance, and Spirit will use like a blank canvas. So this screen behind us is awesome. But when you said that, I pictured 2 Native Americans.
Do you picture anything else?
Well, I'm continuing, can I go on with the Native Americans?
Absolutely.
I mean, one of them is wearing what I would call a chief headdress, and the other Native is kneeling in front of him, and he's using some type of a staff. It looks like he's the one person's down on his knees in front of this chief, and he is it looks like anointing him or giving him some kind of blessing. And then the person who was being blessed, they're both male, and the person who was being blessed got into a canoe and left. Like that person, that person went off, but that person was going, I get the feeling like that person was going off on a mission that was sent by this chief. So I give that to you.
Okay.
I'm also picturing something else just came up. It looks like, I heard the word Aztec, but I pictured a pyramid, but I don't feel like this pyramid is like in Egypt though. But I picture a pyramid.
Okay. Is there one pyramid or is there 3 pyramids?
One.
Okay. Because I've had a thing with 3 pyramids that's been going on. I talked about that in another episode.
Okay.
Is there something you want to ask her?
I'm just curious. Do you actually? I mean, is it true that George Harrison is here at present with us, or how does this work? Because you are talking as if like he is here.
Right.
He is here. Okay, but can you see him or you just feel him?
I'm feeling him, but occasionally, like he'll step over there, and I will see him
So that's where he is right now, behind me?
over there.
Okay. Hi, George. How are you? Very nice meeting you.
Does he want to say anything to her?
He's saying it talking, because it works like on the spoken word, so to speak. Like the more if I wait for information sometimes, then it won't come. It's like I have to give the spoken word. So he's talking about your show, and he's talking about your lovely sweater. Like he's doing like this. Of course, I never knew George Harrison. I never knew George Harrison. And he's laughing about my lack of knowledge of like music and the Beatles. I've got like, he's laughing at me, or no, well, sort of.
I understand. Yeah.
He's laughing at me also. I didn't know him either.
He's asking me to share a story where there's this famous album cover, with the Beatles like crossing the street, And not too long ago, I found this postcard at this store, and I literally picked it up, and my boyfriend said something. I was like, "Oh, who are they?" And he's like, "Are you telling me you don't know who was in this picture?" And I'm like, "I don't." And he walked all around the store and asked the people, and everybody else in the store told them who it was. But I also told you before when I started that I didn't grow up with music, and it was not part of my life. So anyway, he's asking me to very quickly share this story. But I'm also feeling like he was some sort of...
How did he know about that story?
Because I don't know. But I think because maybe it flashed into my mind, and he said, share it. Because he thinks this is absolutely hysterical that somebody my age and my generation, as little as a few years ago, would not know what that picture was and who they were. But I also feel like, because he's talking with you, and I feel like he's like flirting with you in a way, like he was. Oh. I don't like and I don't mean this in like a ladies' man. Like he enjoyed the company of women, and he enjoyed like talking with them and flirting with them. But I also feel like in a relationship he was monogamous, but at the same time he enjoyed women. And he's like, I feel that when he's talking with you, we're kind of like.
I feel flattered.
And I don't know him, so if you know his personality, but that's what I'm feeling, like this,
I told David
enjoys the company of women, enjoys being around beautiful women. So he's like, very cool that you're here and who you are, and he's bowing to you with your work. He bows to you in the sense of but he's using the phrase bringing wholeness to the earth.
That's exactly what I do. That's my passion.
Do you want to tell a little bit about what you do to see if that coincides with what you just said? Because she doesn't know you at all.
Yeah. Well, basically, we don't have much time for me to give you the long version. I was born and raised in China, and so I met a fortune teller when I was 12, and she told me basically I was born a healer, and my job is to heal the world. And then more than 10 years later, my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and the doctors gave her 3 months to live. They said there's nothing they could do. That's how I got into Chinese herbs, diet, nutrition, and helped my mom to survive for 18 years from stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
And they gave her 3 months to live?
3 months. And my passion ever since then was to really help heal the world. And I have this dream to bring people from different modalities, different countries, different cultures, and we all come together to this healing center. And we can heal people emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally. That's what I do.
Is there anything George would like to say about that?
Brings fullness. He's saying it brings wholeness. It brings fullness to the world. He's saying that the work that you do connects the dots.
Mm-hmm. We were talking about connecting the dots this morning.
Yes.
She lives with her husband, and I stayed in the spare bedroom last night. And so this morning we were talking about, we used that connecting the dots phrase.
Well, he did too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And he bows to you. He bows to you for the work that you do.
Thank you. So my passion is to bring people like you and David so we can all work together to raise healthy community together, so we can bring wholeness to the world.
Okay, I'm listening. This is part of being a medium is I'm listening to what you're saying,
And
and,
you're getting something
I'm
else,
getting
yeah.
it at the same time, which is fascinating. I love being a medium. And he's saying, and we love talking to you. But he wants to talk more to you about your music. He's saying you need to step it up.
What do you mean step it up?
Well,
My flute music or the guitar and the vocal music?
do you drum? Like I feel like he's saying you need to add drum. Like you need to, you know.
Yeah, he doesn't want me to write sad songs anymore. He wants me to write happy songs that are fun.
Yeah, he wants. I feel like he wants to step up the energy. You know, he's suggesting. He's saying. He corrected me. He said, I mean, I'm suggesting. You know that you step it up. You know, and I'm feeling like this.
So he wants more fun energy in the rock music with the singing.
More. He's not using. Like, I think he's nitpicking with the word fun, because he's saying you're a fun guy and you have a lot of energy, but you know it's what do you want me to say? He's saying change the energy.
So make the tempos a little faster. Is that what he means?
Right. Yeah. He's saying in a sense, step it up. He's saying that your music appeals to a certain genre. Is that the right word?
Yeah,
that's
right.
the word he's using.
Mm-hmm.
So so he's like, yeah, that's the word I'm using. What do you mean? Is that the right word, Regina? A genre. He says, but the earth is full of people that don't connect with this. Like this is a good connection for
The flute music, you mean?
right.
So the vocal music, he should have a little bit more tempo, a little bit more energy.
Yes, and what he's saying is to connect it to the average Joe on the street. Do something that is for the rest. Like this you have a wide audience that meditates and that gets into the energy and to the he's saying fluidness of your music, but there's a huge population that's not into this, and he wants you to write something for them.
Okay, and we're out of time, right?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I wish we could go on, and this is fascinating, and we would love to do this again.
Yeah, maybe we could do another one.
Well, I'm sorry, we're out of time.